So I've been sitting and thinking about this game for the last, 24 hours, and honestly, I've got nothing. Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PLAYBOOKSPORTS on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. I like to think typically I'm pretty upbeat about the Miami Dolphins. I like to think that I'm pretty positive. I've got a good outlook on it, and I think, okay, we can overcome this, or we can take this positive from this loss. And guys, I've got nothing positive to take from this loss, honest to God. Devon Achane ran the ball well. That's about all I got. Defense got absolutely cooked all day long by Lamar. Was able to sit back there, pick us apart. Guys running open. They ran the same running back wheel route twice, and Duke Riley got cooked twice. Just no adjustments at all. No adjustments from Vic. We never once sent more guys than they could block and made Lamar make a play with his legs. He didn't have to. He could just sit back there in the pocket, dance around a little bit, and just throw it to an open guy, because eventually they're going to get open. They're talented too. They have fast guys who can create separation. When you run and just rush forward all day long against one of the best offensive lines in football and they don't get through, you're cooked. You're absolutely cooked. Ravens matched up very well with us in that regard. I mean, if you go back and watch my Dolphins preview back in May when the season schedule first came out, when I was going through every game, I'm like, okay, this is a win, this is a win, this is a win, this is a loss. The Ravens was a game I expected us to lose. So this wasn't surprising, right? Ravens are tough. It's in Baltimore. I don't like playing AFC North teams on their field. It's hard. But I didn't expect it to go down like this. And honestly, I could accept this loss if Bradley Chubb hadn't torn his ACL. That is honestly heartbreaking. To lose him and Jalen Phillips both for the season, both two stud pass rushers, and to lose them both for the rest of the year and a chunk of next season too, hurts. We cannot catch a single break, man. I swear to God, every star player on this team for the most part has been hurt at some point this season. Every star player. We cannot catch a single break, dude. We cannot catch any breaks from the injuries. I mean, we're starting. We have two of our starting offensive linemen. We are now missing two of our starting defensive linemen. We're missing a starting linebacker. We're missing a corner with Xavier Howard going out hurt. Javon Holland was obviously playing less than 100% because his impact was not felt throughout the entire game. He was nowhere to be found. X was getting cooked. Everybody on the defensive side was just getting absolutely burnt. That's a tough one to swallow, man. That's a tough one to swallow. But if you think I'm going to sit here and wallow, you're sadly mistaken, because everything is still open to this team to play for. We're 11-5. We're still in first place in the AFC East with it all to play for, unfortunately, on Sunday night. I hate that it's on Sunday night, but it is what it is. I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen. That was the narrative. That's the NFL. They don't script. They're not forcing these things to happen. It just coincidentally works out that Detroit will play the Rams, right? That's just a great coincidence. It just works out that they get a divisional championship game in Week 18 for everyone to watch. They were looking for a game. You just knew that this is how it was going to go. You just knew it, and I'm just sick over that Tennessee Titans loss earlier, a couple weeks ago. That is the difference between us starting our starters and having to play for something this weekend and us playing the backups and just getting an extra week to rest all of our players. That's the difference, was blowing a 14-point lead. 14-point lead in 4 minutes. That is the difference, guys. That is the difference, and that is sickening. But we move. It is what it is. Buffalo barely escaped their last two games against Easton Stick and Bailey Zappi, who desperately tried to give them the game. Josh Allen, in his last 4 games, their 4-game winning streak, he has thrown 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. He has not been good. They haven't asked him to be good. They haven't had to be good because they've only played one good team in that stretch. And it was the Cowboys, and that was their best performance. And it was all James Cook. All James Cook. So if you think I'm scared of the Buffalo Bills, no, you're mistaken. The Ravens are the best team the Dolphins will see all season, will have seen all season without a shadow of the doubt. I mean, they're the best team in the NFL at this moment. They're absolutely rolling. Lamar Jackson's going to win the MVP. Man, I'm bummed out they ended up paying him. Seems like they were the smart ones and everyone else is a bunch of fucking idiots for being like, nah, we're not interested. Not interested in Lamar. We don't want him. Nah. Within 30 minutes of him being available, and no one wanted him. Interesting. Interesting. And now look at him. Good job, everybody. Good job, Atlanta. Good job. Stupid, man. Stupid. Way to prove a point. You guys really just stuck it to him. He got the contract he wanted, and his team is number 1 in the NFL on every power rankings across the NFL. Everybody's talking about him, number 1 team in the NFL. That's a tough game. I don't even have a whole lot to say about the stats. I mean, everything that went wrong for Miami went wrong. Once again, this was a game where we were going to go blow for blow, point for point. This was like the Buffalo game earlier in the year that we lost big, where it's offense matches, then they match, then we match, then we match. And it's like, okay, who's going to falter first? And lo and behold, it's the most consistent player on the Dolphins. It's one of the best players in the entire NFL. I would say best receiver in the entire NFL. It's Tyreek Hill who falters, drops a wide open touchdown. All of a sudden, we settle for 3. And you cannot settle for 3 on the road in Baltimore. You need every single point you can get. And he dropped it. And he dropped the ball. It is what it is. That's a couple times now where Tyreek has had a big play not go the way you expect it to with him. Against the Chiefs, that fumble 7, fumble 6, whatever you want to call it. That was the difference in the game. Against Dallas last week, he had a 92-yard touchdown if he catches the ball. Went through his hands. Right here, touchdown pass. Dropped it. Disappointing. He said it. Worst game of his career. I totally agree. He ended up going, 6 for 76 or something like that? Yeah, 6 for 76. That's not Tyreek Hill. Cannot drop that touchdown. And then Chase Claypool finally getting a chance in there because Waddle's out hurt. Can't hang on. Great throw from Tua. You just can't hang on. We were definitely missing Waddle. It's really concerning that if Jalen Waddle's out, we don't have another receiver we can rely on, obviously outside of Tyreek Hill. It makes a defense's job very, very easy. So we need Waddle to come back. Everybody we've been holding out and keeping back from playing, Robert Hunt, Jalen Waddle this past week, Raheem Mostert. I don't care. It's the last game, guys. It's go time. If you're 50% or better, you need to be out there. I know we have the playoffs next week. I want the division. I want to host this because I want to knock Buffalo out of the playoffs this week. This week we can eliminate them depending on what happens Saturday and Sunday. If the Jaguars win and the Steelers win, and then obviously the winner of Colts-Texans is in, but if the Jags win and the Steelers win, the Bills will be playing for the division and for elimination. That's what it's going to come down to. And these stupid NFL narratives, man, if Buffalo's already in the playoffs, this is how it's going to go. If it works out to where Buffalo's already in the playoffs no matter what, Buffalo will beat us. If Buffalo's eliminated, no, I have it backwards. If Buffalo's in the playoffs no matter what, Miami wins this football game. If Buffalo can be eliminated, that won't happen. The NFL can't have that. They cannot have Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills miss the playoffs. So then the Bills will win it, and the Miami Dolphins will get the 6 seed, and the Bills will get the 2 seed. That's how that will go. Just watch. So we need the Bills to be clinched probably, which means we'll have to play them twice. So who knows what's going to happen, man. It's really disappointing to have, complete in control of your destiny and to have it all go back to a Tennessee Titans game that you just could not afford to lose, and it just hurts. But we got to put that game behind us. You take that game film, you put it in your backyard, you burn it, and you bring it this Sunday. You bring it this week in practice. Laser focused. Lock the fuck in. It's go time. Playoffs start this week for Miami. Playoffs start. You want the 2 seed and you want to host someone that's going to sneak in? Or you want to go to Kansas City and take on Patrick Mahomes? It's up to you, boys. But we'll see you guys in the preview for this game against the Bills. I'll have some good stats. Hopefully that lean the Dolphins' way. I guess we'll see when I dive into the numbers. And we'll get some injury reports out there, and then we'll have our last week of game picks for you guys coming out this week, and then we'll dive into the playoffs. Season's almost done. It was definitely, blink and you miss it territory. So week 18, here we come. Fins up, boys. We're not done. We are not done, no matter what, we're in the playoffs, right? So hang in there. Heads up. It's a tough loss. No one said this was going to be easy. You're going to have to go out and do it. So let's go do the damn thing.